Even though it says we're live, she says to give it like a minute to adjust. Oh, look, you're all wrinkly and shut up, man. Is it too cold? Not anymore. Oh, Goose. Kitty will be in the background. Oh, well. They'll survive. Meow. Hulk's in the background. They'll hear it in the background. Oh, my God. Lou's on. Lou and Bo, obviously. Lou.
Okay. Am I supposed to like?
You're supposed to go, hey Lou.
No, not.
I think we're live. We're just trying to. There's a glitch in between when we go live.
Okay.
And when we officially start. So our producers told us to wait a minute before we actually go into our thing.
Okay.
Goose, I'm gonna throw you out the window.
What are you gonna?
Period. Oh, Daniel Hillman put some kind of an emoji. I think he's dabbing. Is what that emoji is doing.
No.
Really cool. Do you dab?
No dabbing.
No.
I dab a little, but that's in like different things.
Dab in things, right? You're live. I know we're live. Dan, didn't you hear what we're setting the tone? Welcome everybody. I am Johnny Ray Jr.
And I'm his dad. So I guess
and this is John Ray Sr. and this is 5R Recovery. Welcome everybody.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of a delay there. We wanted to make sure that we weren't glitching in and out in the beginning.
Yep. That's for sure.
So here at 5R Recovery, when you begin with remember,
okay,
when you choose to recover,
gotcha,
when you learn to rejoice, then you can become reborn and ultimately relive a life of service and helping others. This is 5R Recovery. What we're doing at 5R Recovery, I can't handle it. Goose,
so he has to go. He's gonna go deal with his cat.
Yep. You just talk, man. Just talk.
The cat is very annoying. So
very annoying cat.
Throw it out. And we'll probably scratch at the door if you want to get back in. I don't think he closed the door all the way, so the dog is going to want to get in now and push the door open and come in. But you know what? That's the way this is, right? This is about recovery.
This is about recovery.
I think it's just a good thing that he's here.
For sure.
He's here. He's warm.
Yeah.
He's in a good place. And
taquitos.
Yeah. And if the cat gets in the way, well, so be it. But that's a good thing.
All right. You think I'm ready? I'm ready.
I think you're ready.
5R Recovery. What are we trying to do? The most important thing. Oh my gosh, Cheryl, Kyle's mom is on. Tell her we said hello.
Cheryl!
Thank you for tuning in. We will get to this topic of recovery very shortly. I'm eating taquitos. She's spreading the word. Thank you, Cheryl. We appreciate that.
That's awesome.
What do we want to do at 5R Recovery? If anything, we want to open up your mind to discussion. Discussion that in most places they don't talk about anymore. I feel like the discussion needs to be brought up on all different things when it comes to medications, mental health, addiction. All of this stuff needs to be talked about. And if anything we do here at 5R Recovery, we empower you to empower yourselves. We want you to have open discussion about things that might otherwise be sensitive or difficult to talk about. Our topic tonight is, I wanted to talk about Seattle.
Or Everett.
Or Everett. I guess.
Really? That's pretty much what you're talking about, right? These are people that are on the streets, right? And you're trying to get them off the streets.
Yeah.
I get it. They're not really here to really get the message because they're on the streets. So they're not watching or able to watch, right?
Right.
So I believe that a lot of this stuff, we're the servants. We're the people that should be out on the streets trying to help these people when we see them, do what we can to get them off the streets. But you need to have that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to know what you can do to help someone.
Right.
Can't force them, right? Absolutely can't force them. We're not in that kind of a position. I can't walk up to someone on the streets and say, hey, man, there's a better way. There's a better place. Mm-hmm. All this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They just look at me and say, dude, I don't want to go anywhere. That's it. Conversation's over and you got to move on to the next person. But he's going to empower you with that knowledge to be able to go out there and help these people get off the streets.
So I do a lot of research, right? I love having papers in my hand. I love studying articles. I love reading newspapers. I love reading magazines, studies, medical papers, all those kinds of things, right?
Okay. Sure.
So I do a lot of studies in this. And what I feel like should happen is that we need to start having discussions about things that people feel uncomfortable about talking. The discussion on the homeless issue or the mental health issue or the addiction issue that is not just happening in Seattle, it's happening in Everett, it's happening all over the world. People need to get together and try to figure out what it is, right?
Sure.
And after I research it and learn and study all of these different things, the one thing that I run into that I don't think anybody has an answer for, and this is what we talked about earlier, was when somebody looks at you on the street and says, I just don't want any more responsibility. When you say, I can get you housing, I can get you a job, I can get your kids back, I can get you your driver's license, I can help you do all of these things. And when they look at you straight in the face and say, no, I'm good. I don't want any of that. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy living this lifestyle. I don't want any responsibility. See, to me, it's one of two things has to happen. And this is what I mentioned earlier today to you.
That's what we talked about.
There's two different things that need to happen, right? Incentive and consequence. Those two sides of the spectrum have to be perfectly equally balanced in order for, say, the homeless problem to get help, right? Either the people in Seattle don't want to help, they don't know how to help, or both. And I think it's both, okay? And I want to tell you, is it really that hard to believe that maybe all of these programs and all of these funding that comes through Seattle is not really trying to take care of the issue? Is it that big of a surprise when you see all of these billions of dollars dumped into all these different programs and nonprofits and systems? Is it a really big surprise if somebody was to tell you, hey, they don't want to help you. They want you to keep coming back. They want to be able to control you. That used to be me and Bo. Yes, Lou, correct. Like, is it that big of a surprise? Like, that they don't want to actually help you? And I want to read something, okay? I researched something today.
All right.
This is a very important thing. Again, we're live. I have a cat that's absolutely destroying my paperwork. Get off of my bag, Goose. This cat, man, I'm just going to hang her up on the... Okay, let me read you something, and then we're going to talk about a little sensitive issue. According to one estimate, between 2009 and March 2013, when the FDA finally approved generic buprenorphine, oh my God, I knew I was going to butcher this, buprenorphine and naloxone, whatever, Suboxone is what it is. Sorry, indigestion. Between 2009 and March 2013, when the FDA finally approved generic Suboxone, it generated more than $1 billion in sales. Okay, or 20% of the company's profit, and 3 million Americans had been treated with the drug. Now, this was back in 2009 and 2013. Suboxone, the cure to heroin. Dog. Right? The solution to helping out the problem, right? Now, what if the same people who created the Suboxone are the same people that say created fentanyl, and fentanyl is killing more people in the world than anything else, right? So the same people that are taking you off of fentanyl are putting them on the same thing in Suboxone. Is that weird? Does anybody else look at that and go, God, that's strange? Do you think it's strange?
Of course it is.
Of course it's strange, right? It's like, so you get off of one thing that was created by doctors in a medical facilities, right? Onto another thing that was created by medical facilities, and one fights the other. Is that not strange? Now, I'm not saying you should stop taking Suboxone. We did a video last week, or wait, was it Saturday? And it was very controversial, okay? I got some good feedback, and I got some negative feedback. Both are great. The biggest thing about the feedback is that it's a discussion is happening.
There you go.
That's what we're trying to do.
Got to talk about it.
Got to talk about it, okay? We've got to talk about things that maybe people have certain opinions on or certain beliefs on or certain, ways of feeling about things. Everybody's so sensitive nowadays that we've got to talk about this kind of stuff. To me, that's a huge red flag. But the number one thing that is killing people, right, more than car accidents and gun violence combined, fentanyl killed more people last year. 100,000 people fentanyl killed last year. That's more than car accidents and gun violence combined, just like I said, right? That's crazy to think about. Well, what do they give you when you want to get off of fentanyl? Suboxone, okay, which is also FDA approved. So you have your FDA approved fentanyl, you have your FDA approved Suboxone, and one gets you off of the other. You're still buying it from the same people, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge issue. Do they want to face that issue in Seattle? No, they don't want to face that issue in Seattle. Do you know why? Because their pocketbooks are getting lined with it. So their answer is, I'm going to funnel money through nonprofits and networks and corporations. And because if I have stock in those corporations, for instance, right? Oh my God, Travis Burwald, this is great.
Wow.
So,
hi, Trav. Long time.
Wow, long time. So think about that. If you have stock in a nonprofit, right, that works on this model, and is actually funneling money through it because it's a nonprofit, a 501c3. Now they don't have to pay taxes on that. One of the biggest ways that people, corrupt politicians, funnel money is through nonprofits. So let's revise this or re-talk about this, right? I know. I'm sorry. I'm excited.
Really?
It's good to talk about this, right? I know. Sorry, I get jacked up. Okay, so think about this. Fentanyl killing more people. The answer for them is Suboxone. But in between, they're giving you kits in Seattle to be able to use. They're giving you needles. They're giving you these things called booty bumping kits. They're giving you crack pipes. And at the same time, they are decriminalizing possession charges. They're not allowing the police to be able to chase you in pursuit, to be able to stop you if you did something unless it's a violent crime. They're enforcing a no-sit, no-lie ordinance, but then funneling money through these corporations that build pallet housing and these small little centers. They literally are controlling us as addicts, and nobody wants to talk about it. That is what 5R is. I want you to talk about it. I want you to bring up points. I want you to ask questions. Don't you see the incentive and the consequences are imbalanced? They're in a flux. So here we are in this equilibrium of chaos. And you know what I think? I don't think they want to fix it. Why would they want to fix it? Then they'd have to answer for all that money that they're funneling. The medical field has been corrupt for years. I'm not saying all the doctors are corrupt. I'm saying the medical field that is funded by politicians with an agenda, with a narrative. And all I'm asking people to do at 5R Recovery is to challenge that narrative. Challenge that, right?
Sure.
Be a free thinker. Ask some difficult questions. I got a lot of flack from last week, but you know what? They were asking me questions. You know, people have their own beliefs, their own opinions, but what we should be doing is getting our like-minded people in a room and sitting down and discussing this. You've been really quiet. Is it because I'm just like,
well, this is all stuff that you really know a lot about, right?
Yeah.
I come from a different part of it, right? I come from an addict's father, right, point of view, which is kind of different and something maybe we're kind of going to be off topic in a little bit. We'll talk about it. But the idea here is I think that this is on everything, right? We are giving people everything. If you don't want to work, we'll give you money so you don't have to, right? How insane is that? I come from a generation where you want something, you work for it, right? And that's the way it should be. That is how you get the American dream, instead of them just saying, don't work, you don't have to. You become an addict, we'll give you needles. We'll give you the drugs that you need. We'll give you housing. We'll give you all of these things. But the thing is nobody has to earn anything, right? So we just make them feel like I don't have to do a thing. I don't really care if I ever get better. What's better than this?
Right.
Free drugs? I don't have to work, right? I get free food. I've got all these things. So what we've got to do is we've got to change the way that we go at this.
Right.
Okay? We've got to make people realize that there is a better way than what the way is that they've chosen.
Right.
Start ground level. Meet them where they are. Okay?
Right.
Let's go out there and let's help these people realize that they need to become PMOS. And I've told Johnny and his sister this is something I've used forever, which stands for a productive member of society.
We use it in 5R all the time.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's really important that people are that way. And so we need to help them at the ground level. Get out there, start out by getting them feeling like living in a cardboard box, living in the woods, living in the doorwell of someone's apartment building or whatever, right? That's where we need to start.
Right.
And then Johnny's working on this process of realizing that they just want to just keep giving drugs. The government just says, here you go.
Right.
Here's our answer.
Right.
Okay. And that is not the answer.
And it's deep seated. They know it's not the answer. That's what we want you to understand, is that when you see this homeless issue that is happening in Seattle, there's a reason it's getting worse. It's because they don't want to help the homeless issue. This harm reduction model that everybody uses. Now, I'm just here to educate, okay? I'm not just some guy that doesn't surround himself in recovery, okay? I read constantly, I study constantly, and I look at both sides of the equation. I look at the harm reduction side of the equation. I look at the Housing First initiative side of the equation. I look at all the different sides of the equation, and I've come up with my own thought. That's all I want you guys to do in your recovery. That's all I want anybody who watches this to go, think about what's going on. If every single time you go back to the clinic and they keep raising your amount on Suboxone, question it. Why are they doing that? What possible reason could they to want to keep upping my dosage on something that has just the same withdrawals as heroin, that has just the same of a dependency as heroin? Yeah. All it is synthetic heroin. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't take Suboxone, and I'm not saying there's not a need for it. What I'm saying is when are people going to wake up and start realizing that the issue that we are facing right now has to be retorn down and rebuilt back up? And that's what we're doing at 5-Hour Recovery. We're breaking down barriers. We want to talk about these things. What Dad touched up on was amazing, right? So again, it leads me back to incentive and consequence, right? What are the consequences for somebody getting using drugs, right? What are the consequences for vandalism? What are the consequences for, say, littering or trespassing, okay? We go out and we approach people in the streets in downtown Seattle, and we ask them, well, I'm not harming anybody. Well, technically you are, because you're camping out in front of an entryway of somebody's business. That's not your business. So you are actually stirring away customers for that business by sleeping in front of it. Now, if it does only affect you and you're out in the woods, right? Okay. If you're out there with nobody, then we talked about this. Well, are they littering? Now, again, this is coming from somebody who's lived on the streets. Okay. Not somebody that wrote about it in a book, right? I've actually lived out on the streets. So I'm not somebody with a non-biased opinion, right? I've experienced it. I've lived it. I'm not trying to come down on people. I'm not trying to be insympathetic. But the biggest issue I encounter is when somebody looks at you and says, you know what, Johnny, the reason I'm out here is because I don't want any responsibility. That's what we need to do. We need to start approaching it from a different level. We empower you to empower yourselves. Wherever you are in your journey is where we will meet you. That's our mission statement.
Amen.
That's our vision. That's what we do. But you know what? Every single case is going to be handled individually. We're not going to put people on a larger scale. But it's time people start taking responsibility for their actions, start standing up for the decisions that they made, and stop putting the blame on somebody else. Start realizing that we live in a world right now where people could care less if the homeless problem got better. Downtown Seattle is only getting worse. They dumped $1 billion into the homeless issue last year. $1 billion. Where? Where did it go? It went to tent cities. It went to pallet housing. It went to all of these great organizations. See, organizations have the good intentions in mind. I know I'm talking. It's all right. They have good intentions in mind, right? I'm not saying all these companies are corrupt. I'm saying the money that is funneling them is corrupt. I'm saying that the people who are behind these corporations that are funneling money through them, they have no idea that the money that they're putting towards this issue is coming from people with a narrative and an objective in mind. And that objective in mind is to not make you well. It's to get you off of heroin off the streets and get you on the heroin that they make money off of.
There you go.
That is absolutely horrible. Like, what a way to suck everybody in, right? What a way to just think about it, talk about it, ask questions, get involved in your community, get involved in politics. I know I hate having to talk about politics, but everybody hates talking about politics. Well, unfortunately, politics is a huge part of this. It has to come from people who really want to help other individuals. We have tons of comments. You want to answer some of them?
Well, I know there's a couple of people that said stuff about how they walk through downtown Seattle and, the people are doing stuff right in front of the cops and everything like that. And They practically laugh at them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, they can do anything they want. No responsibility. They defecate in front of people, right? They can do anything they want. The cops can't do anything about it.
Right.
We got to go back to that. They should be able to.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. I know Johnny talked a little bit about politics and having to get involved. Forget about it. Let's do this. Let's start a movement. Like 5-Hour Recovery is a movement.
Right.
So let's take it to a whole nother level and say, we're going to do this as a group, not necessarily have to run for office to be able to do it, but you start building a movement. Okay. I'm going to use a bad movement because that's really what came to my mind right now. Antifa. Okay, Antifa.
Oh, whoa.
I think that it's an absolutely horrible thing. Horrible people doing horrible things. Can anybody tell me who the president of Antifa is? No. Why? Because all you hear about is Antifa, the movement.
Right.
Okay? So let's start a good one, like 5R Recovery, the movement.
Right.
And we're going to reach out there and make people realize that we're not going to put up with any more of this give. We're going to help everybody be responsible, because being responsible is a good thing.
It is a good thing.
You're not going to be out there on the street saying, oh, I just don't want to be responsible.
Right.
Why? Because what you want to do is you want to be able to do anything you want, good or bad, at any time you want.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You don't throw your garbage in the garbage can and it's on the ground all over the place. Somebody's got to pick that up. Somebody's paying for that.
Right.
Okay? So all of these things that we can control, we're going to start controlling.
Yeah.
And I'm not so big on the Seattle thing, right? You know when people start to care? People start to care when it happens right in front of them. When they come to your door, when they're in your driveway, when they're in your street and you go down the street and you see a homeless person there, it's like, oh my God, they're here. And now I'm going to start worrying about it. Forget about it. They are here. We're not waiting until they get into our neighborhoods, right? What we're really trying to do is help people, right?
Right.
But the thing about it is sometimes it takes tough love.
For sure.
And that's what we're going to be moving in the movement, is it's tough love. We're going to help you make a decision.
Right.
Okay? I'm sorry, you can't. If you make the decision and you want to go to treatment, Johnny can help you with that, right? He's great at that kind of stuff. And there's other people that'll find their place in 5R. Right. It just might be out there helping them with a cup of coffee, right? Something to eat at the same time. But the whole idea here is we're still working the movement,
right,
to get people to realize we're going to help you get to a better place.
Yeah.
Treatment is where you need to be. Whatever treatment that may be. It might be mental. It might be physical. It might be that you're addicted to things. But there's somewhere for everyone. And that's what this thing is all about.
Right.
So,
and we're going to get to some really difficult things, like, when it comes to the legislation, right, of Seattle reform, right? We're talking about boards and corrupt people who have been doing this for a long time. I'm not specifically saying any one party or the other. What I'm simply saying is that for a long time, people have not gotten together and to try to come up with a solution that actually works. So they believe by throwing money and resources at something that is helpful. People are broken, right? They need incentive. They need purpose. At 5R Recovery, we want to find you purpose. Okay. We want to find out what we're put on this earth to do. We're not trying to hurt anybody. We're not trying to cause conflict, but yeah, tough love seems to be the way that we need to go. And it seems like we're doing a lot more of the other way, right?
There you go.
I feel like in 5R Recovery, some of the best discussions I've ever had are on Tuesday nights in our 5R meetings with a group of addicts, a circle of 20, 30, sometimes 50 people with all different walks of life who have been homeless, suffer from mental health issues, suffer from all sorts of addiction, right? And all of us sitting in a room and having a conversation for an hour about how we could improve the system. One person said, wouldn't it be awesome if they paid all the homeless to walk around the city and to pick up the garbage? Right? So they get paid like $20 for a bag. I think they've done this before. Again, why did it fall apart? Why didn't we continue to do that? It kind of gives people an incentive to make money for food or offer them food for them going around the city and picking up the garbage, right? So we're cleaning up the garbage. So we're cleaning up the graffiti. We're getting people off the streets. We're working with them one-on-one, right? These are all these things. We need jobs. We need jobs that these people want to do. So we're going to go out there and try to create those jobs, right? I have no problem going before a board of directors in downtown Seattle and saying this exact same thing. I might only get 2 minutes, but during that 2 minutes, I'm going to say exactly what's on my mind. They're going to listen to me. And whether I get booed out of there or kicked out of there, it doesn't really matter. It's the fact that this is what a group as 5R Recovery is starting to do. We have amazing people in 5R Recovery, some of the best people that I've ever met in my life. And they're out there every single day doing it. They're all running clean and sober houses. They're all becoming drug and alcohol counselors. They're all working solid jobs. They're all getting their licenses and certificates and all of these things And it all comes from them just finding what their purpose is in life. That's what 5R is. That's what we want to do. We're not trying to replace any fellowships or any other programs. We're not trying to talk garbage about other people, the way they do things. We're trying to bring a new idea and a new thing. And that's what we want to do.
That's great. And I think that is a real way to deal with it, right? Addicts helping addicts, they know, okay, I cannot relate on any level to what that is or what they've gone through in their lives to be addicts. Like I said, I only know from a parent standpoint, but you know what I can help with? I can help with community. I can be one person of many from the community that want to support this issue. I have a lot of friends that are dealing with this on their own level. People that I know that have homeless people at their doorsteps, okay? People that are camped out there all the time, defecating in front of their business.
Right.
It's a horrible situation, right? But that person who owns that business wants to support 5R Recovery, wants to be a part of it because he's a community member. And whether it be financially or whether it be just giving of yourself to come out and be willing to go out and help those people that might be in front of your door every night when you're trying to conduct business, that you can go and be able to help those people get off the street, which in turn helps them get away from the front of his business. We don't want to hurt these people. It's tough love. We want to be able to help them, help themselves to get better. And that is where this thing needs to go, is I'm going to be on the community side of it. I come from a place of love, being the father of an addict, somebody that was addicted to it for 20 years, okay? But it's about support, okay? Whether it be here tonight because someone out there didn't show up to be here. So I filled in, okay? So I feel like that if you people don't want me on this channel, come do this, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to be here filling out, and I'm going to be coming at you. I'm coming at you. So let's all get together and start building this thing. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. Let's take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Let's get out there and make the movement happen.
Right.
So
Love that. Well done, Dad. All right, we're going to leave the comments real quick because we have some people on here who I absolutely love and miss. Dan obviously started and said hello. Let's see. Luella says, hey, guys. Cheryl D, hi, team. I'm spreading the word. Good evening to the 5R team. Good evening to you. Caitlin Good. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Caitlin Goodwin is on here.
Oh, my
Katrina's daughter.
gosh.
Very,
Say
very
hello to your
awesome.
mother.
Yep. Unless she's using your account.
That
which-
could be.
that-
It is
it was
Katrina.
Katrina, it was great seeing
That's
you
my
on
niece.
Saturday. Absolutely love you.
There you go.
Luella, that used to be me and Bo. Yes, it is. But Luella and Bo, you guys are coming so far and accomplishing so many things.
Exactly.
And it comes from your guys' desire to say, you know what, I'm not doing drugs anymore. No matter what, I'm not doing drugs. I'm not going to do it. No matter what life throws at me, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna better myself. And look at all the amazing things they're doing. And now they're helping so many people.
Exactly.
Now they're managing a clean and sober house. Dan Hillman manages a clean and sober house. I mean, these are things that they come from their personal experience. They can talk to them because they're relatable.
Well,
you know, it's what
sure.
they've gone through. Somebody who's never been an addict is not going to go out on the streets in these homeless communities and be able to relate to anything that they've gone through. I felt it. I've eaten out of garbage cans. I've slept on park benches. I've slept under bridges, right? I would be able to talk to them.
Absolutely.
So that's what we need to do.
Absolutely. Oh, another couple comments. Okay, so Bo and Lou, right? You've had tragedy in your lives. Okay. Yes. At one time, you didn't make it. You had to go back out. You used again, but you recovered, right? Right. And there's no end to it. But the thing about it is you guys have felt your tragedies. You had your tragedies, and you're still staying sober. Okay. That's what we're celebrating every single day.
Every day.
Dan and Amy, same thing. You've had your tragedies. But look where you are. Look what you've done. And that's the thing that everyone out there that is an addict needs to do is realize that your life is important, right? You staying sober is important. There's so many people, right, that might just be listening on other things, right, coming from some other places that hear this. And it's like, if you save one person, if you were just to save one person's life in your life,
yeah,
that would be the absolute most amazing thing that you could do.
That's pretty good.
And that's what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. So who knows how many all of you people together have saved people's lives. But that is so important. Stay strong. Stay the course. And realize staying sober is what it's all about.
Amen to that, brother. Wow, powerful stuff, Dad. Travis Burwald, haven't seen
Travis,
you.
oh my gosh.
Good friend.
Yeah.
I saw his picture of him and his dad today on Facebook. And it was crazy because it was just like you and I. Like, we've grown up.
That's
You've gotten really old. I've kind of gotten
there you
old.
go. Travis and I used to play on the high school, Marysville Pilchuck high school golf team together.
Oh,
had a great time. There's some memories.
That is crazy. Okay, so let's see. Fat Pat, thank you for your support. Hell no, they don't want to in Seattle. Yep, you're right. They don't want to help in Seattle, but they're going to make it look like it, and they're going to funnel money through a bunch of corporations. And maybe we might even get a grant that can be able to really help some people and find out how to keep some things going. And trust me, there's no politicians behind this one.
Oh,
there's nobody funneling money through me, 100%. In fact, I've denied some because of it.
Well, here, I mean, let's just take it off the line a little bit here, right? So what? If they don't want help, are you going to give up on an addict on the street? Are you just going to say, oh, okay, hey, nice talking to you, I'm just going to leave you alone? No, you're going to do everything you can to change how things are done.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the same thing with Everett, Seattle, anywhere.
Yep.
Right? You're going to go in there and you're going to do your very best, and you're going to promote by community and get people involved, and that movement starts. And then all of a sudden they got to pay attention to you.
Right.
They got to listen,
because
listen. Now we've got people involved, hundreds, thousands of people going to the press, right? We're going to go out there and make people realize if we don't change this community, this state, this country, this world, this stuff isn't going away, people.
Right.
We're watching it get bigger and bigger and bigger. We've watched it take over states like California, right? It's
California is a crap hole.
Okay? People are moving out by the hundreds of thousands to get out of there. Unfortunately, they're coming here and then they're buying up all the housing. So that's a different subject. I'll get on that later. But right now, what we need to do is realize, hey, okay, we're not taking no for an answer anymore. Yeah. It's time to help these people get off drugs, okay?
He's a little passionate.
Sorry. I've seen it go on for 20 years with other people. Yeah. I don't want other people's kids to do what he did, okay?
Yeah.
I want to help. If I help one person, it's worth it.
Yeah. For sure.
So you go.
Love it. Awesome. We're almost done here. I promise. Not really. It is the messed up, but they are creating a problem. We always said 30 minutes and we're already.
Whatever. It's important.
This is important.
There's no time limit.
Okay. Not really. It is messed up, but they are creating a problem. And the answer to the problem or a treatment to the problem, I have to say they have created a well-oiled machine. I would love to hear your dad's opinion on this. That was Dan. Darn right. All right. Let's see. Fat Pat. I was walking through downtown Seattle the other day for my job.
I was talking about
There were homeless people doing deals in front of the cops smoking. Oh my gosh, unbelievable!
There you go.
Right there.
You go.
Because it's not the police officer's fault, right? Their hands are tied. They can't do anything. Again, this has to do with consequences and incentive, right? Where is that balance? Somebody doesn't want the balance, so it's unbalanced and it's all over topsy-turvy, right?
They're laws that are put in place.
Yeah,
that are ridiculous. Yeah. Shouldn't be there in the first place.
Right. Ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can change laws. You don't have to be in politics to change laws. What you need to do is you need to get with the good politicians and people like that and be able to make them realize that, hey, this is something that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Okay. And that movement, that community effort is, but a lot of people just don't care, right? Because it's not on their doorstep.
Right. And there's corruption on both levels. We're not siding with one side or the other. Okay. There's no left and right. Okay. There's no Democrats. There's no conservatives. We're not talking about that. We're talking about that there are people out there that really, really want to help people. It's just like with doctors. Okay. Doctors. I know some of the most amazing doctors. Gosh, Suzanne, if you're watching, you're an amazing, wonderful medical doctor who helped me through a really difficult thing recently. Remember that? Okay. Then there's other doctors that you're just a number. You're going to walk in, so get a second opinion. Don't just settle at one thing. And then again, this goes back to insurance. We have a corrupt medical system. So of course we have state insurance, which means you're going to get state doctors, which means that you got to do better in order to do better. You've got to go out and figure out who's going to be your physician, what your insurance you're going to get, which is probably going to come from a job. So you got to get a job, then you got to get insurance, and then you got to find a really good doctor and then ask them these difficult questions. Don't go to these people that just keep one after another. They're overpopulated, they're understaffed, and to you, you're just another letter. You're just another number. Just fall in line.
Yeah, realize there is no quick fix to this.
Yeah,
okay?
This will take years.
I can tell you, I'm going to be long gone. And then Johnny's going to be my age, right? Along with all you other guys and gals that are involved in 5R.
Yeah.
You're going to be older people.
Emery.
But you're not giving up.
Emery.
Right? You're still going to be able to work on these issues.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a long time. But you know what? You got to start somewhere.
For sure.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time to start.
Yeah, I agree. God, you're good, Dad. I believe this is not cool, but it is smart if you can make money off both sides. Again, it's messed up, but it is a super viable business model. And that's why I think they will never fix it for real. 100%. That's why it's such a challenge. If it was easy, I would be off doing this stuff full time and constantly 5-hour recovery. That's all I would do is recovery. You can't do it because I'm going against the narrative. I'm going against the grain. I'm looking for a little bit of conflict. I'm looking for a little bit of controversy. I don't mind standing up against the corruption, right? But what's that going to do? The ideology has to change. Our mindsets have to change. The way we view addiction has to change. The way we view recovery has to change. This is going to take years and years of work. But if not me, why not me, right?
Exactly.
Why not me? Why not Johnny Ray start a revolution? Why this movement it has to start.
Sure.
And all we want to do is start very basic. Get the conversation out. Start having these conversations with people who are set in their ways, that are on 9 different medications from their doctor. Maybe start asking those hard questions of why am I on these 9 different medications when this one makes me sick and then I got to take a medication that prevents me from getting sick. It's like, don't you see that that's kind of odd? And it's just time to look into those things. So I absolutely agree. A bomb patron 425. Absolutely love it. Dan Hillman, none. Travis Burwald, love you, brother. I mean, it's so good to see your family. You have an awesome family. It says you're on the right road. Discussing and talking about it is the first steps. If you're uncomfortable talking about it, but you're talking, it's working. I 100% agree. If you ruffle the feathers of a bird, the bird will start cleaning itself up. Wow. Love that. Dan, love that, Travis. Facts, Johnny. 100. Good job, guys. Love it. Get it, John. Travis, get it, John, because you get a little... Get it. I get it. Whatever. We're definitely odd. I deal with alcohol issues, not drugs, but I find being involved in the community and coaching my kids makes me look away from the bottle and focus on what's right in my life.
Amen.
And
Amen.
it's so good
Amen.
that you admit
That's
that,
exactly
bro.
right.
That don't be ashamed of who you are.
Exactly.
Right? We struggle. Everybody struggles with their own addiction. It was what was so controversial on my last episode. I literally called everybody in the world addicts. Right? Oh my God! Did Johnny say that? He literally said we all have our own addictions. Yes. Think about it.
Sure.
Think about all the things that you're like, you really like playing, sports. Are you obsessed with football? Like, right? Or are you, what is it? Are you obsessed with food? You find yourself watching porn more often than you should? Oh my God, did Johnny say porn? How uncomfortable. Maybe time to start talking about it, right?
There you go.
It has to be talked about. And if not somebody, well, why not ask if I were? Sorry, I'll get this going. This is Adam, by the way. Adam, I love you. Okay, I'm going to say something real quick about Adam. Adam, last week during our recovery meeting, you crushed it. It was towards the end of the night. It was you and Val left. I'll remember it like it was always. I've never heard you share before. You were so vulnerable and you were so open and you could hear a pin drop in that room. And that's what 5R is.
Exactly.
We give every single person that comes to our meeting an opportunity to share. And the reason we do that is because people need to share. They need to get off their chest. They need to talk about things that really are struggling. And Adam, you opened up and killed it. And Val, you killed it. You always kill it. Absolutely amazing. We love you guys. Keep coming back.
But see, Adam, you get in there and you tell your story. And I know that it does help you. But it's helping so many other people to hear your story.
Yeah.
Every time you share, there might be someone new in there, right? That needs to hear that. That's there to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that's God. I believe God is everywhere all the time. And he's in that room and he helps you share your story to help everybody else in that room.
For sure.
So keep sharing. Now that you've opened up, you can't stop now, man.
Dang right. And what's the first R in 5R recovery? Remember, right? That's what it's all about. We begin with remembering. We share our story, our testimony.
Amen.
We talk about it. We spread it far and wide. We shout it from the rooftops. We're not afraid anymore. We're not in anonymous groups. Like we're not standing in closets afraid of who we are. Yes, you should be in these in different fellowships. That's not what I'm saying. See, I keep getting so much backlash that I have to be careful on what I say.
That's all right. You're always going to get backlash. Nobody's always going to agree with you.
Oh well.
Okay.
Anyway, but so
get your own channel.
What I'm saying is that for a long time, for the longest time, people have been hiding away from their addiction. Well, if we're all addicts, what do you got to hide from, right? If we all suffer from things, why not be out in the open? Why not be proud? I think that's an important statement.
Okay. I want to go a little bit back to where the guy was talking about how everything is, and they have the well-oiled machine, and they've got it down, and nothing's going to change, right? You know what? You're probably younger than I am. I'm just going to guess. Okay, you're younger than I am, Adam. Here's the deal. I remember a time where there was no homeless people on the streets, right? Very, very long time ago. They just called them hobos, okay? And they wandered around and they jumped on trains and everything like that, right? Tough times. But there weren't very many people out there. like there are now. So if we can go and have people turn to this now, let's go back again to the time where we don't have people on the streets, where being homeless, right, is something that it's easy. We just get together. There's not that many of them. We help them find out what they need, and we help them get off the streets.
Yeah.
Right now, we're overwhelmed, right? It's like a pandemic of homeless people, right? And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And as long as it stays within the city, right, not too many people will see it. When it starts going into your neighborhoods, then people are going to start to care a little bit more.
Right.
But the thing about it is, I don't want it to get that far, right? I don't want our little kids to be involved, right? Playing in your yard. That used to be a thing, actually. Kids played in their front yards, and you didn't have to worry about it. Nobody plays in their front yard anymore.
No.
Nobody plays outside anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's inside, okay?
Frightening out
It
there.
is. So
It's
we need to
terrifying.
get, it's done. It's time to start. Let's work at trying to get the homeless under control. And it starts with one.
Yeah.
Okay?
For
It's
sure.
got to start somewhere.
For sure.
Start with
And
one.
if it seems harsh, right? Like let's just go back to where I was right before I came here, okay? So I was in the back of a pickup truck. I had no food, no money, no drugs, no treatment, no medication. And when I finally surrendered and said, that's it, I'm not going to put another substance in my body, and I turned my life over to God,
Amen.
things started opening up for me. But it took me to get down to the nitty gritty. People think they have hit rock bottom, but haven't actually hit rock bottom. And unfortunately, sometimes it's going to take that rock bottom in order for you to go up.
Yeah.
Which other direction do you have to go? For me, it was absolutely the worst possible situation I could be. I didn't have any food. I couldn't sleep. It was horrible. I was all by myself, just nights of crying and waking up and crying and going back to sleep, crying, trying to sleep, trying to eat blackberries to try to survive. So it's not that I'm insensitive or I don't know where people are coming from. I don't want it to seem like that. It's just that it needs to be a different approach. And why not us?
Yeah. I think he just doesn't want to see people get to where he was.
For sure.
Why not try and shut this thing off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When he finally came to me and said, hey, Dad, I've been a compulsive liar and an addict for 20 years. Will you take me in? Right? That is after 20 years of him, right?
Yeah.
I saw him maybe a handful of times in those 20 years. Because if there's any parents out here, right? If you think by enabling your child, you're going to save them, it ain't going to happen. That's not how this works. Okay. You want to help your child, right? Let them fend for themselves. Let them be out on the streets. Let them do whatever it is. And people will say, I mean, maybe I'll get flack now, right? I don't care first. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. It's the whole idea here is they need to figure it out. And then when you finally do, I will give you an opportunity. But I would have nothing to do with him. When I saw him, every time I saw him, he was high. If I went down there to see him for his birthday, he was high all the time. You couldn't get anything out of him because they're not thinking straight, right? He had no idea what was going on in his life, except he thought he had worms
throughout my entire body.
It was crazy talk. Okay, but you know what?
That's some good talk.
It happens. This is the kind of stuff that happens, right?
Yeah,
dude. So we want to help. Let them
face.
make their own decisions. Okay. I know it's hard as parents. Believe me, I know it wasn't easy. But you got to do what you got to do. And that's just how you do it.
Tough love. Love it, Dad. Have to go, guys. Proud of you. Thank you, Travis. We're just going to skip through these comments.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Let's see. Daniel Hillman, last week you got hated on. Yes, I imagine we both got some flack from last week, but that's all right. You know what? Flack, at least people are opening up their minds and listening to us. And for every flack I got some people going, man, Johnny, I never thought about it that way. So you know what? I'll take it. Let's see. If none steps up and starts a conversation, then there will never be a chance to come up with a plan or a solution. 100%, Adam. I mean, 100% agree. Alex Carr, love you guys. Thanks for keeping things real and spreading the light from God. I love
New Life
Alex
Church.
Carr. New Life Church.
Amen.
Amazing. Wonderful. It's taking care of us in
Part
so
of the
many different
community.
ways.
We need you.
Yes. This is one of the reasons I felt like sharing. I know that other people's stories help me with my addiction, and if my story can help someone else, then I'm all for it.
There you go.
100%.
Amen. Absolutely.
Preach on, Johnny. Preach on, Alex. I absolutely love you. Let's see. Sorry, it's tiny writing. We got to figure out how to blow it up. We're almost done. I am 35, and I remember when it all changed, and I want it to change, and I know that the problem can be solved if there are people willing to stand up and make a change. Daniel Hillman, I agree. We had to be ready to make the change in our minds and souls. Luella, I had those too. So that's all of our comments. we're up 45 minutes. We try to keep them between half hour and hour. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, I ain't done.
Okay, go. Preach on. I'm gonna go get another taquito.
So I've heard all you guys talking about, hey, this is something important. Hey, this is something we're gonna do. Okay, right?
Yeah.
I think where you guys are, you have an obligation. You have an obligation not just to go and talk in front of a room. You have an obligation to go out on the streets and help people. That's where it has to go. The movement has to move to the streets. You can go to a room and you can all sit in a group and you can talk. And I'm sure that's amazing stuff and it's necessary. But it's also necessary to now reach out to those people that are on the streets and be able to go up to them. And we're going to find ways. We're going to do whatever it takes. We're going to start working on that stuff. But it takes all of us. All you people that are talking online, now you're going to do it in person. And we're going to reach out to every addict, as many as we can get to on the street. We start one place, right? In Everett. You know where they're at. You know where the people are. I kind of do because I've tried to go out and help some of them. But hey, there's so many out there. They need our help. It's got to start with one. Let's start working together on working on this homeless problem locally and getting things done.
Absolutely love it, Dad. And thank you for doing this video with me tonight. It was a last minute thing. We just kind of just kind of threw it at him. In fact, I don't think we didn't really even prepare. We just kind of were like, hey, let's just talk. We get a little passionate we care.
Yeah. When you speak from the heart, you don't need to prepare.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because when you're passionate about something and you care about people, right? And you've got God on your side, hey, brother, let me tell you, there is nothing more powerful than having the Lord speak through you.
Amen.
Everything that I say, everything that comes out of my mouth is coming from God, who just works through me. Because no matter how much this stuff here on earth, right, is something that you care about and you think about, realize that this is nothing. It's all about eternal life, getting to heaven and working to get there. That's it. All these things help to get you there.
Amen.
And that's what it's all about.
Amen. So I'll plug all my stuff and we're ready. You got anything else you want to spit fire about?
I think we spit a lot of fire tonight. Matter of fact, I feel like a flamethrower. I'm gonna go get a drink of water.
He's flame broiled, maybe.
Maybe.
She says, you guys killed it, Bo and Luella. We love you guys too. Thank you, Dan. Okay, so I'm gonna plug all our stuff. Okay, and the list is increasing. 5-Hour Recovery is starting to get noticed all over the place, and things are starting to happen. Let's say the first thing that happened today, which I'm so excited about. We're going back in the Diversion Center, people. Claire, who is an amazing program manager for the Diversion Center, has reached out to us and asked us when we're going to start coming back in. I had a little bit of issues with masks and wearing them inside the facility. But what I've come to realize is that my personal opinions and views are preventing us from spreading the message of 5-Hour Recovery into a facility just based on my opinions and my feelings about things. And so when it comes down to it, I made a decision and I said, you know what? Our message needs to be heard, correct? And if it's behind a mask, it's better than not hearing them at all. So I decided, after a discussion with Claire and a discussion with my team, that it's about time we start going back into the Diversion Center. And she reached out and was so excited. She's like, we need it Friday nights, 5:30 to 6:30 in the Diversion Center, talking about 5-Hour Recovery. Dan's going to be involved, obviously. Morgan's involved. They're saying yes,
on TV.
Yes. Lou, all you guys, it's going to be awesome. We're going to set Fridays up. It's awesome. Love the Diversion Center. Okay. The other thing is Monday nights, we're going to go live every Monday, 7 o'clock, just like we did tonight. And we're going to do testimonials, right? The testimony tonight, Dad touched up on earlier. Melissa, we love you. We plugged her a lot on our Saturday, and unfortunately something came up and she was unable to make it. So we're going to do testimonies at 7 o'clock live on YouTube Monday nights. Also, Saturday, our very own Dan Hillman and Johnny Ray will go live on Saturdays with some really controversial issues. I'm going to talk about how medical professionals and doctors misdiagnose. With mental illness and drug addiction. So that's going to be a really touchy subject. Just like last week, we will get emails, we will get flack, but whatever. Okay, Tuesday nights at New Life Church at 6 o'clock. 6:30. We changed it. At 6:30 are our 5-Hour Recovery meetings. If you want to discuss some of this stuff in person and sit with a group of people who are dealing with the same things that you're doing, question everything, free thinkers, want to ask a question, everybody is welcome. It doesn't matter what you believe in. It doesn't matter what you follow. It doesn't matter come to the group and talk about it. Let's come to the group on Tuesday nights at 6:30, bring a friend, and let's talk about some really sensitive issues. We're going to talk about how mental illness and addiction are combined this Tuesday night, which is tomorrow night. So we're going to talk about how mental illness, addiction are intertwined, how people who suffer from depression and anxiety are more likely to use, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to ask everybody in the group to share. It's going to be absolutely amazing. What am I missing?
Talk to them about all the people that came out to church on Sunday.
Oh my gosh. Awesome 5R peeps. Way to represent it, New Life. New Life is an amazing facility. It's our church. It's our home church. We had a group show up last week, all 5R representing themselves and meeting some of the staff. And it was wonderful to see us all represent our 5R swag and getting to know the church that supports us and gives us a building to hold our meetings. We're so blessed. We're so thankful. And
Exactly.
and then if you count board meetings, it's 3 times a month.
There you go.
So we really, really appreciate that. Let's see. What else is there? I think that's it for right now.
Hey,
if there's anything more,
blow it up, okay? The room that you guys have, right?
Yeah.
It's only for a certain amount of people.
Yeah.
Get the word out there.
Mm-hmm.
50 people you've had one time. That's all right. When you get up to like 75, then we got to get you a bigger room.
Yeah.
Okay?
We can always use the chapel. They say.
Sure. That's what you want, right? New Life, give you a bigger room in the chapel, more people, right? Make it so that New Life, that's all they're hearing about is 5R recovery.
Yep.
Okay? We want their support.
Yep.
In many ways.
Yep.
So there you go.
Thank
Fantastic.
You, we appreciate you.
All right.
Keep it. Oh, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. If you guys are not already subscribed, it really helps out our channel and helps us grow. When you hit the like or comment, we really appreciate that.
Where's the love?
There's no love on YouTube. It's only on Facebook. So if you see us floating around on YouTube or on Facebook, please hit the love symbol. And please, once again, just everybody subscribe. If you subscribe to our channel, we grow, we get more views, and then we can reach further people.
Yeah.
So,
that's what it's all about, right?
So Morgan, you said you want to come next week. Sounds good to me. I would absolutely love you guys. I was going to invite you and Dan and Amy, and I think it's great that our 5R crew represents every person that comes new. We go up to the front desk, we introduce ourselves. It's good to see our 5R name and our 5R logo and people getting excited about their recovery. God, people are like loving this. They're like, I cannot believe I can like walk down the road and feel comfortable about who I am. And gosh, I have all these thoughts on my mind, but people always judged me before. We're not going to judge you at 5R because we're pretty freaking whack.
There you go.
Especially this guy.
Hey.
Oh, okay, wait.
Maybe. But hey, it's got to start somewhere, right?
It's got to
start somewhere.
There
Here it is. Starting it right now.
There you go.
Oh, I don't know what I do with this thing.
Don't hit me.
Okay. Start now.
I love you guys. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dad. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Bye.